Now, although only 27 EU leaders are in that summit physically today, some others are hoping to one day sit in there too, like Iceland, who plan to hold a referendum on EU membership. For more, Euronews' Shona Murray sat down with the Foreign Minister of Iceland and started by asking her if this would be a very difficult referendum to get through.
Everyone knows about Brexit and all the lies that were put on the table in that process. So, yes, it will not be an easy walk, but in the end, you have to trust the nation and believe in her, and it's rather positive now. The outcome could be positive now today if we would vote. But on the other hand, it's just a simple question, Should we continue the negotiation talks, yes or no? And from my point of view, if you say no, you are closing a lot of doors. Instead of saying yes, should we not continue, see what kind of negotiation and agreement we will get. If you say no, then I'm afraid that Iceland will be pretty much alone. Not quite alone, but of course we are still a member of NATO, and we have the EA agreement, we have EFTA. But I think our position will be not so strong as being a member of the European Union. And there, again, I come to the values we share.
What do you make of the changing nature of the transatlantic relationship?
If I could now criticize European Union, is that they should be with more self-esteem. European Union is a superpower, and they should act like a superpower, if I could say so. And you just, if you watch and recall the Greenland's agenda from the US part, it was quite clear that the European Union was a backbone for Denmark and Greenland when these statements were made on the US behalf. And I think that was beneficial for Denmark, but it was also useful for us in Iceland to see, okay, European Union and most of the countries, they can stand with other nations when they are in a way attacked and their sovereignty.
Was that very worrying from an Icelandic point of view, what happened with Greenland? Because we're talking about two islands, and I mean, Donald Trump kept on saying Iceland instead of Greenland in his speech in Davos.
Yeah, but he meant Greenland.
I know, but still, Iceland at the back of his head somewhere.
Yeah. somewhere, yes. But actually, just to underline, Iceland has an excellent relationship with the US.
Until it doesn't.
Yes, but when it comes to defense and security, I just have to underline our cooperation in that field has been increasing and has been not just encouraging, it has been very useful for Iceland, and I know as well for the US. So whatever people say, in that field, defense and security, it's fine, and it's one of the most important pillars of our new defense and security policy. But when it comes to trade, sadly, their friendship is not so good as it was, because we got first 15 and then now 10 after the decision from the Supreme Court. So I think, and Iceland, we are, and we still will be advocating for a good transatlantic relationship.
Of course, everybody is.
But we also have to work for it, But we cannot be naive.
Yeah.
And that's why I say it's important for Iceland to increase the pillars under the defense and security policy. Like I mentioned, there are two main pillars under our defense and security policy, being a member of NATO, and the other pillars is the defense agreement with the US since 1951. But of course we are having bilateral agreements with countries like Finland and Germany, and we are updating our memory of understanding and defense with Canada, and of course we are deepening our collaboration with other countries, and we have to do it because in this world, in this volatile world, you see what Finland and Sweden did. They joined NATO, and they say those two pillars, EU and NATO, they are the backbone of their security. And of course, we in Iceland, we have to do something more that we have been doing, and that's why for example, I signed this security and defence partnership with EU today. When
you say the EU should be acting like a superpower, should it recognise the leverage that it has? I mean, if you look at what's happening in the Strait of Hormuz,
humongous leverage, you know.
So what would you say Ursula von der Leyen should have done, maybe around the issue of tariffs? Should the EU have played a tariff game with Trump or accepted the 15%?
I will not tell him what to do. You know, it's a difficult situation. What I only ask for is in various areas, show your superpower, because together Europe is a strong alliance.
I suppose did the example of Greenland.
Yeah, exactly. For the example of Greenland, there some nations said, okay, if you're going to put tariffs on us because we are standing with Greenland and Denmark, then we are going to put tariffs on you. And of course it affected the markets in the US. And that's why one of the reasons that I think the US administration responded to.